RJ Barrett is a star in the making. Ever since RJ was drafted, he showed a great ability to consistently improve his game season after season, and so far around midway through this year, he's having the best year of his career. But quickly before we get the video started, for those of you who may not know, I'm Juicy Sports, I make opinionated NBA content, and if you guys enjoy videos similar to this, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that post notification bell. I also want to quickly mention that I recently started up an MMA channel, and if you guys are interested in that, the link will be in the description. But anyways, let's get into it. Originally, when RJ Barrett was coming into the NBA, he had just a decent rookie season. He averaged 14 points per game on 40% shooting from the field, 5 rebounds on 2.6 assists. And due to that decent year and the fact that both guys that went ahead of him in Zion Williamson and John Morant had such great rookie seasons, a lot of people saw RJ as a draft bust. And even though RJ showed the ability to improve his game year after year, he still wasn't getting the respect he deserved. And honestly, still at this point, I would still consider RJ underrated, but at the same time, I would say he's getting a lot more respect than he has in the past. And he was able to garner some more respect just due to how well he's been playing over the past 2 or 3 seasons. I would say early on, one of the bigger reasons for why RJ wasn't playing the best, I wouldn't say he was playing poorly, but he also clearly wasn't on the level of those other 2 guys, was due to the fact that he didn't have that 3-point jump shot whatsoever, and he overall just wasn't all that efficient. But over the years, RJ has done a great job at significantly improving that 3-point jump shot, but also just becoming more and more efficient as the years progress. Now, obviously also the experience that he's gained over the past couple of seasons have played a significant role, but overall the improvements that we've been seeing from RJ is mostly due to that improved 3-point jump shot and just improved offensive abilities in general. But with that being said, RJ also made other significant improvements to his game as well. He's specifically gotten better in the passing and playmaking department. Now, when you currently look at the Knicks roster, they added Jalen Brunson, who at this point does most of the passing and playmaking duties, but RJ has certainly improved upon that as the years have progressed. But also besides his scoring ability, I would say the biggest improvement that RJ has made has certainly been his defense. Early on in his career, he was seen as a decent defender at best, to be honest, but specifically starting last year, RJ has really improved that defensive ability. At this point, I would say I would feel comfortable with RJ guarding the opposing team's best player basically each and every night. Now, currently on the Knicks roster, they also have Quentin Grimes, who's that level of defender as well, maybe even a little bit better, to be honest, but I still would feel very confident with having RJ on the opposing team's best player each and every night. I think he's that good of a defender, and I honestly only think he's going to improve as years progress. But now, why do I think RJ is a superstar in the making? Well, I think there's a bunch of different reasons for why I think this, but the first reason that I want to touch upon is his actual skill. Now, obviously this is the most important part, but when you look at RJ's game, he has a very diverse skill set, at least in my opinion. He has a decent ability to hit that 3-point jump shot, whether you talk about the catch and shoot, or crossover, or even a sidestep 3-point jump shot. But he also has a pretty nice ability to hit that mid-range jumper as well, with a 1-dribble pull-up, crossover, sidestep, step back, and catch and shoot mid-range game. He at times has the ability to hit that post turnaround fadeaway, but it's not something that he's all that good at this point, at least in my opinion. But once driving all the way to the basket, RJ is extremely effective as well. He has a great ability to finish with his left hand particularly, but also has the ability to finish with his right. It's something that he's added throughout the years. He has a nice ability to finish through contact, finish around contact, and even dunk over players at times, which is something that we've been seeing more and more of from him. Certainly the best ability of his offensive game is his driving and finishing ability, but he also has done a really nice job to diversify his game and add that 3-point jump shot as well as that mid-range jumper in his game. Now, besides his individual scoring abilities, he also has a really nice ability to play through the offense and find his open looks that way as well. He does a really nice job at cutting backdoor for wide open dunks or layups, spreading the court out effectively for wide open 3-point jump shots, and even running the pick and pop or pick and roll offense while facilitating as well. Overall out there, not only is RJ a really good scorer for himself, but he's also a really good teammate due to that high level of basketball IQ that he does possess. Now, also I touched upon his abilities defensively, defensively and how he's consistently getting better season after season on that end as well, but that's really the first reason for why I think RJ is a superstar in the making, just the abilities that he possesses currently. But the second reason that I wanted to touch upon for why I think RJ is going to be a superstar in the future is due to the work ethic that he has. Now, when you look at his stats season after season, you see consistent improvement, and what that tells you more so than anything else is this guy's an extremely hard worker. And when you're an extremely hard worker, you're most likely going to be pretty good out there. But when you combine that with the talent level that RJ does possess, I do think he has the potential to be a superstar in the future. Now, I don't think he's going to get there within the next season or 2 seasons. I think it's going to take some time, but I do expect him to continuously grow year after year. Now, the last reason for why I think RJ is a superstar in the making is due to the team that he plays on in the New York Knicks. Now, this might sound like odd reasoning, especially considering how poor the Knicks have been over the past 20 or more seasons, but in my opinion, I do think the Knicks are a good situation for RJ. And what I mean by this is when you look at the Knicks roster, they have a really nice young and talented roster. And I do think that's something that's going to benefit RJ significantly going forward, because not only is he going to have a lot of time to form chemistry with a lot of these players, and he's going to grow with a lot of these players, but also a lot of the players that the Knicks have a playstyle that mesh very well with RJ's. Now, one thing that I will say is the Knicks' main player at this point is certainly Julius Randle, and based upon how well Julius has played this season, that is warranted. And whenever the Knicks are in late game situations, they typically look for Julius Randle at the end of the day. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that's the right approach. I think they should more look for Jalen Brunson or even RJ Barrett, but that's just kind of the reality of the situation at the end of the day. Julius Randle is the main guy, and he's the player that the Knicks go to in late game situations. But with that being said, there have been a bunch of different rumors of the Knicks potentially moving on from Julius, so I do think there's something there with that. And I think within the next 2 or 3 seasons, the Knicks probably will move on from him. And at that point, most likely RJ Barrett would turn into the main guy on this Knicks roster. And the reason why that's significant is, of course, at this point, RJ does get the opportunity. He gets a ton of minutes out there. He does also get the opportunity to score for himself and others, but he's not the main guy. So if the Knicks moved on from Julius Randle and RJ became the main guy, I think it would just give him that much more of an opportunity to grow and become a much better player than he is currently. And at that point, if RJ was the main player and he had all these other young players that the Knicks currently have, and maybe add a couple other guys, I do think the Knicks could be a pretty good team, and I do think RJ would be a much better player than he is currently. Now, in order for RJ to get to that level, he's going to need to make significant improvements, but based upon everything that I mentioned in this video, I do think he has the ability and capability to get there. I would say the first step for him would be getting to that all-star level. I do think he's very, very close to it. I think he's a borderline all-star at this point, but he certainly needs to make certain improvements to actually get over the hump and become an all-star. But then the next step after that would be becoming a perennial all-star, and then the next step after that would be becoming a superstar. But obviously, that's a lot easier said than done, and there's going to need to be a lot of time and hard work that RJ needs to put into his game year after year. But I think based upon what he's shown us so far in his young NBA career, I do think he has that will and determination to get there. But I guess only time will tell what does end up happening with RJ Barrett in the future. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think RJ Barrett is a superstar in the making, or do you not think so? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy, check one of these 2 videos popping up now, and until the next time, peace out, guys.